Now, I hate to use the term coin flippy because as players have gotten so much better, it's not as often as you see straight up build order wins. But there are definite situations where one build drastically favors winning versus others. We saw that in our last series with the 10 pool bailing against Hatch First. Obviously, that's pretty one-sided. So
I agree. I mean, what you're saying is it's kind of standardized so much that there's advantages, but it's not just an outright build order win nearly as much.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to gamble, if you want to go for the all-in, maybe you can catch that Hatch First and get the free win, but maybe not. As we move on to Heavy Rain, our first map in this series, Yowie Flash Wolves slam up against Revival. Let's go ahead and hop into game, where we can see spawning down in the bottom half of the map, the Blue Zerg player from Taiwan, representing the Yowie Flash Wolves. His name is Slam. Unranked in WCS 2013, trying to change that this year, as he has burst into the American scene with a win in the qualifiers and now finds himself one best of 5 away from the Premier League, his opponent up in the top half of the map. The Red Zerg player, he is Revival. Now, Revival, the Korean Zerg, had a pretty prolific WCS last season, ended up in 17th place on the WCS points, narrowly missing the BlizzCon cut, as you guys may recall, the Naniwa race.
But it is important to mention that he is no longer Evil Genius's Revival. He is a free player, but that does kind of mess with your mentality. It could be he rallies behind it and says, I need to make a really great showing so that I do get sponsored once again, or it could be the opposite way. It kind of makes you feel a little bit depressed.
We've seen some players absolutely rise to greatness with no team. Grubby is one, Polt is one, Violet is one. But we've seen lots and lots of players flounder far more than we've seen succeed. And I'm going to be very interested to see just how Revival plays. It is only recently that he's found himself in this kind of teamless situation. He's going to be playing Hatch First against the 15 pool of Slam, which should put him ever so slightly ahead economically. But these builds are so incredibly close that it makes very little real difference.
Is he going to throw down that extractor, though? No, he is not. He's going to go for the 15 pool, 15 hatch. This is like the most standard defensive build you could possibly do. You're good against everything, even 6 pool. You're going to be fine against. I mean, you're always going to live against everything. There are some builds, like 10 pools, I think you might be slightly ahead, but only by like a single drone, if anything at all.
Actually, I think straight up Zergling Baneling might be one of the better ways to play against this, but even that doesn't necessarily come out ahead.
Your queen's out a lot faster.
It's a micro fight. Yeah. So we are going to see pretty standard play from these two guys, and I am eager to see what the mid game will end up looking like.
Gas timing so far, no gas for either of these players. So it looks like both of them are most likely going to be just powering. There still is the option for either of them to go into Roach or Mutas. I would say this particular style really relies a lot more on Mutas than Roaches, just because you don't have the metabolic boost really to help out in that mid-game stage. If you do want to get metabolic boost, you know, both of you don't really care for map control, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. So just take map control and kill some overlords with Mutas once they pop out.
Yes, sir. Still gasless on... well, actually, no, we got double gas going down right now for Slam. It's kind of a fast double gas. Usually when you see the gasless opening, you don't see extractors until around 36 supply, which is probably what we're going to see Revival doing. We'll see his gases go down very soon, I suspect.
Could be a trick, by the way. This could be a Roach all-in, because he put down the gases once the Overlord went away. So it could be like, hey, I'm doing the same build that you are, and then all of a sudden Roaches are popping in. And there's the metabolic boost, so something is amiss.
Yep, but pulling all of his drones off gas, so... Interesting. Just wanted to grab a quick ling speed. I'm not sure what that actually means. Still no gases from Revival. There they are. Double gas in the natural.
Wow. You give up so much doing that, Ben. I mean, 2 drones in the early stage. That's so much economy. This might just be like a constant Zergling mass. Yeah. 12 Zerglings in production right now.
Giant Speedling attack. This can be a difficult style to stop. Rotterdam loves his Speedling all-ins in this matchup. 20 lings.
This is the Roddy build.
Yeah. Actually, this is, if you want to get technical, this is very similar to a build Damaga popularized years ago in Wings of Liberty, where he would mine this 100 gas, and then he would only produce Zerglings until Ling speed finishes, go with a large Ling attack while taking a third base and droning behind it. Which is not a terrible kind of a build. Fell out of fashion due to the popularity of Baneling openings, but we can see that that's not what we're seeing from Revival. Revival's actually trying to go straight up to Roach.
Yes, he is, and he has kind of completed the wall to an extent. I mean, there's only one more space that he has to fill in right now. And there it is. The Zerglings get in here and see all of the Zerglings leaving. How does Revival react? There it is. The evolution chamber. Does that seal off? No, it doesn't. Oh, this might be pretty bad here. It just depends. Will he be able to get the roaches out in time, Ben?
It's going to be close. It's going to come down to transfusion a little bit. If he focuses on this building Evo chamber, I think that these Lings are probably going to break through. It's wow, that Evo chamber is getting hit points so fast, and there is going to be at least 3 transfusions, maybe a 4th. Still, though, the Roach Warren going down very fast. 7 roaches on the production tab. Lings will get through, but can they do the damage they need to? Wow, this is going to be close. Lings surrounding everything. More and more Speedlings are streaming in. 16 more Lings enter the production tab. Those Queens have used up all their transfusion energy. There's no more Roach Warren. Wow, look at that, the effectiveness of this Speedling attack. But still, the Roach count managing to hold the line, and Revival is going to have no choice but to rebuild this wall. He's lost all of his Queens, but he's got his lair. He's got a single Evo chamber, and he has reestablished himself. We've got perhaps one final attempt at breaking through coming here from Slam, but for now, he's going to have to return to droning. Income tab shows us 28 drones to 40, a massive lead for Revival.
Perfect defense. I mean, that's...
Ooh, that was so close.
Textbook right there.
Yep.
How does he do that? I have no clue, Ben. Like, that was so clean. The Broodlings actually made such a large impact in that fight because obviously they tanked a lot of damage and they did a lot of damage. Normally, you don't have that luxury. But as it stands, obviously Revival, all he has to do, mass and win the game. He pushes out. His opponent will not be able to keep up with the upgrades. 1-1 on the way. Galil Reconstitution. Lair's just starting for Slam. And Double Evolution's just about to finish here. So things are looking great for Revival, and he knows it.
Slam has closed the drone gap, but now he's got to figure out what he's going to do about the inevitable Roach attack that's going to be coming his way, the 1-1 Roach attack that's going to be coming his way. Upgraded Roaches are going to be incredibly tough to deal with for these Zerglings.
Would say so. It's just going to push out a little bit more.
So Revival
taking his third base.
Oh, wow, how about that? He's not afraid. He's going to chase this back.
Doesn't he have Metabolic Boost for his Zerglings? That's how bold he's being. Still doing Baneling Nest for Revival, so he's just going to rely on mass Roaches to do the job. And which is fine. I mean, put all your gas into Roaches makes a lot of sense. They're a lot sturdier than Banelings, although Banelings going to be able to defend against these counterattacks a lot more efficiently.
Yep. Revival's done a great job of this. He's got 2 fully saturated bases. His third's coming up. He's continuing to produce nothing but Roaches. And it looks like now he is, in fact, going to get out on the map and start to get aggressive. Roach count shows us 28 Roaches to 0. Slam, you're going to have a damn hard time defending this. Can probably cancel this third base if he really wants to. Or even better yet, he's going to try to catch some reinforcing Roaches in the center. But unfortunately, with 1-1, or at least +1 ranged attack having been finished, it's unlikely that that's going to be very successful. Look at the great timing from Revival. Hits right before the upgrades are going to finish. Going to walk right up on top of Slam's Roaches, and he is going to slam the door on game number 1. Slam going for the Speedling all in, almost making it work. But at the end of the day, Revival holds narrowly and jumps out to a 1-0 lead. Very nicely done by the Korean Zerg. Yep, perfect.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely
I mean,
perfect.
His build doesn't even know it's coming until the Zerglings are already out. And by that time, it's too late. I will say the 2 Zerglings, if they weren't sent in, I do think that the extra 5-10 seconds would have made a huge difference.
Chambers aren't going to be there.
Correct.
And it's going to be much trickier. But